so I'm just going to talk about a couple things really quick. This will be a decently short video. It's not directly associated with your journal, so I think it's just going to be kind of to help you guys out, to help you understand some of the things I'm expecting with the story. I had a conference with a few of your fellow classmates, and they kind of were asking about how long I wanted it to be. And I don't like giving out answers, but you can expect maybe about 4 or 5 pages. But that's all that we're working on, you know, for the rest of the year. So it'll be really easy, and especially going forward, if you watch my lectures, for sure you're going to be just fine. But today I'm going to outline, because a lot of people are kind of confused with what a short story is, and don't try to pin it down to like one definition, because it's not. It has a very wide range of meanings. And I do apologize about like the ambient noise. You'll hear my dog like pitter patter and stuff like that. I can't wear headphones because I need the camera over there. So we're going to go over the 5 elements of a short story and kind of talk about each one as we go. And remember that I'm actually doing the story with you guys based on this, like I'm pretending like I'm my own student, you know, and my teacher said, you know, write a short story using a theme inspired from Harry Potter. And remember, a theme is just one of the 5 pieces that make up a story. So if you know what kind of theme you want to go with already, because you read the Harry Potter, or at least you listened to the lectures, then you only have to come up with the other 4 parts of the story, okay? So I'm going to write them down, and we're going to talk about them as we go. So let's do it like this. 5. Nope. Thanks, Miss Howell. Give me crappy markers. She gave me this sweet board. How awesome. This thing is heavy. It's double-sided, too, which is kind of weird. Like, why is it double-sided? Like, am I going to have to, like, does a thing come with it to spin? Whatever. There we go. Let's just do 5 elements of let's just do story. Because we're writing a short story, right? But, these elements go across that boundary. It's not just, you know, short stories. So we have theme. Let's write them over here. And that's the one that we're picking from Harry Potter. Remember? So with theme, a lot of my other lectures talk about, okay, what are some of the themes that we see in Harry Potter? And the most prevalent one is, you know, finding courage in yourself and like friendship. Those are both very big themes in the piece. You know, a broader one is good overcoming evil, but that's more or less for the series as a whole. This first book out of 7 really focuses on courage as a theme and friendship, right? And kind of developing the 2 parallel with each other. So for my story, specifically, I'm just going to pick the easy theme, you know? So courage. Or let's put, you know, finding courage. Because if I put finding courage, it leaves it so much more open. I'm going to check every now and again to make sure that I'm actually still recording. All right, sweet. How much room do I have? Okay, so if I do it like this is better. Okay, right. So theme, finding courage. That's a good one because if I just put courage, it's kind of too specific. But finding courage, that could be a wide range of things. I could be helping other characters find courage. My character could find courage, whatever. But the theme is just defined as the main idea or an underlying meaning of a literary work. Okay, very broad, like Harry Potter is about friendship and courage and good versus evil, things like that. It's something that you have to read the whole piece or watch the whole movie to kind of be like, this was the theme. Okay, you can get by with, you know, the other elements of a story like character and setting very early on into the story. You could go, 15 minutes and you could be like, all right, what's one of the main characters of the story? You'd be like, it's probably this guy, right? But if somebody plays a movie for you for 15 minutes, like, what's the theme of this? You'd be like, I don't know, I have to watch more, okay? So that's the first one. Let's do the second one over here. 2, right? So characters, right? So you can't have a story, right, without characters, right? And to give you the Webster dictionary definition type business of character, so you can build off of that, it's just a person in a novel, play, or movie. Just or I don't really like to just use person, so I would say just anything that the story is representing itself around. So let's be a little bit more specific. So in Harry Potter, the character are like Harry, Hermione, Ron, people like that. Like any human, obviously. Now when it gets down to the main characters, like that's different. Like, somebody says, is Snape a main character? No. He's an important character, but Harry, if I could only pick one main character for that, yeah, it would be Harry. So characters are the second piece of our elements. Now for me, I think I forgot what I put in my notes. I said like Beowulf Bluegill. Let's just, for the sake of just remaining true to making it up on the spot, this is what I chose last time. Beowulf Bluegill. I think I was watching a bunch of fishing videos before I made that lecture. That's why Bluegill. Don't fall. That would hurt so bad if it fell. So, character, right? Now, the third, let me switch back over here. And we're breaking it down like this. So we're going to go into each one in the other lectures. This lecture right here is just to introduce them all to you, so you can kind of start thinking about, this is how I want to do my own. Okay? So 3 is setting. Now, for Harry Potter, the setting in the beginning, the ordinary world, was Europe, London, right? Middle class, somewhat modern time, right? But then when they went to Hogwarts, it was more kind of Renaissance-y, right? It was still kind of modern time, but for example, Hagrid's house is way different than like a house in London, right? So more Renaissance-y. So for your Webster Dictionary definition of setting, right, that's just going to be is the time and place in which the story takes place. So for me, when we did our last lecture, I think I said that I wanted the setting to, in the first half of the book, to be modern day, okay, Texas, and then I said that in the second half, whenever I have him go into, because I could keep the whole story there, but it's going to be interesting if I change the setting somewhere through, just like in Harry Potter, they changed the setting to introduce a new world. I would like something kind of galactic, right? Something galactic. So, kind of outer space, so galactic or space, right? So something in outer space. I don't know. Again, I'm just making these up. And again, last lecture I did go over character more. I gave myself age, and other qualities, but we're just for this purpose, we're just going over it real quickly just to introduce all 5. So we have theme, character, setting, right? This next one, you can't have a story without a conflict. This is so hard to write like this. I'm going to have to change this up later. So you can't have a story without a conflict. And I haven't come up with that yet. That's going to be a different lecture, okay? So the character is going to have to go through something. Something is going to have to happen. So in Harry Potter, the conflict, obviously, there was a few, right? There's inner conflict and outer conflict, and there's several types of each kind. So one of the inner conflicts was him struggling with courage, right? Him having to deal with the fact that he is basically an orphan and his family doesn't like him, or his immediate family doesn't like him. Then there's outer conflict, like the issue with Malfoy, right? That type of business. But then there's also the bigger conflict, like Voldemort, or another conflict with Snape, But overall, the conflict in Harry Potter is just to protect from, or to keep Voldemort from attaining the stone, right? That's kind of the bare bones definition. There are a lot of other conflicts, but they all are kind of rooted in keeping Voldemort away. Like, for example, like they have an issue with Snape, but it's all rooted in them thinking that Snape is in cahoots with Voldemort. So the main conflict in Harry Potter was, keeping Voldemort at bay, keeping him from getting that stone. What the conflict is going to be for Beowulf Bluegill in my story, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. That's going to be a different lecture. And I'm going to stay true to the lectures and just make it up on the spot. That's why there's a lot of goofy stuff, like galactic and space and modern day. And I'm just making it up just to show you how easy this assignment is, okay? So, now finally, let me... Okay, so we have... the Webster Dictionary definition of conflict in literature is defined as a struggle between opposing forces. So usually there's a main character struggles against some other force. That type of conflict is what drives each and every story. Again, there is no story without a conflict. Some kind of issue has to be going on. So last but not least, we have plot. And just as a side note, theme is obviously the easiest element of this assignment because you just pick it from Harry Potter. Setting and character and characters, right? This is just my main characters. There are going to be other characters. I have to come up with an antagonist, a bad guy, right? But these two are easier to come up with. Conflict and plot are the ones that take a little bit more time. So a plot, try to think of the word a plot line, right? So a plot line is the Webster Dictionary definition is just the main events of a play, novel, movie, whatever, devised and presented by the writer as an interrelated sequence. So what is going on? So basically, like, the plot would be, if I watched a movie and you didn't, and you were like, sum it up for me in 10 seconds, I would give you the plot line. So the plot line for Harry Potter would be, there's this kid who doesn't know that he's a wizard. He ends up getting admitted into this wizard school. He finds out that he comes from these really, really good heritage of wizards, and then he finds out that the person that killed his parents is coming back, and he has to stop this person from getting this stone that's going to make him immortal, right? Just think of a plot as the way that you can describe a story to somebody in a hurry. Only the main, like you're going to say, like what I did, I introduced characters, right? Said the setting, where they were going, the conflict, right? And then I didn't tell you what happened at the end because, I could, but if somebody were asking me, tell me the plot of the story, I wouldn't want to ruin it for them at the end. But if I was going to tell you the end after I talked about Voldemort trying to get the stone, I would say eventually he battles out with one of Voldemort's puppets and he protects the stone, and in the end he wins. That kind of thing. Okay. So let's sum this up, and I will have another lecture tomorrow, and I'll post a journal tomorrow. But the lecture tomorrow is going to go over, we'll review these things, obviously, and then we'll start with conflict. Okay, what conflict is Beowulf Bluegill going to have? And we'll add an antagonist as well, maybe a few antagonists, right? Because there's more than one. Like in Harry Potter, there's a few. There was anybody that's against the good guy, the main character, right? So, okay, so 5 elements are theme, character, setting, conflict, and plot. I appreciate y'all. I'll go ahead and post this, and we'll have another lecture mañana.